Video, we'll be going over IRS Notice CP05a. So this is the IRS determination that they need additional information to decide whether or not you might be due for a tax refund. So we'll go through the entirety of this notice. We're going to start with the upper right hand corner. So you'll see the type of notice that we're talking about, CP05a. The tax year, in this case, is 2018. The notice date, March 7th, 2019. So this is kind of important because if there is a due date that's tied to the notice date, then you'll need to pay particular attention to the notice date. For example, there may be deadlines that the IRS imposes 30 days from the notice date, 60 days from the notice date, etc. So in this case, you can see right down here at the bottom of the form, that's not the case in this notice, but it's still worth paying attention to the notice date. Taxpayer ID number, which obviously is an example from the IRS website. I don't believe that there is a taxpayer ID number that is 9 nines in a row. And then there's a phone number to contact the IRS. Over here on the left hand side, you'll see the taxpayer name and address fields. So if you've recently moved, or if you've moved since you filed your last tax return, you should definitely consider filing IRS Form 8822 or IRS Form 8822-B, since the IRS depends on having up-to-date correspondence or up-to-date addresses for your correspondence. And if you don't respond to the IRS notification, they're going to assume that you agree with their assessment. So in this case, your default is anything that was reported on your tax return. If the IRS chooses to correct it, then no response indicates that you agree with their corrections, which may not be in your best interest, and it may not be what you intended. So let's take a look at this notice to see exactly what could be going on. So in this case, it says that the IRS previously sent you a notice about their review of their tax return. So that might be a CP05 notice just saying you don't need to do anything right now. We're going to review your tax return, and if we decide that we need additional information, we'll reach out. Well, this notice is reaching out. So in this case, the IRS needs to know whether or not you incorrectly reported income on your return, and that incorrectly impacted your tax withholding amount. If you incorrectly claimed tax credits, if you incorrectly claimed withholding on your Social Security benefits, if you incorrectly claimed household help or Schedule C income. So the IRS will hold your refund until they can receive that information and make a final decision. And again, if you don't send them anything, even if it's because your address, you moved and you didn't get the letter, that counts the same. So in this case, it says, send us your documentation to prove your case by April 21st, 2019. So in this case, this is, that looks like about 45 days after the notice date. So this could include copies of your pay statements or check stubs that indicate your withholdings, your income. So like your W-2, any kind of your W-2 statements. If there's a company letter that you can get from your employer showing your dates of employment, your wages paid, and your deductions or your withholdings, for something that may have been misreported on a Form W-2, canceled checks for your household workers that indicate your income, anything to substantiate your Schedule C business. So this could be canceled checks paid to the business, invoices to or from the business, or bank statements on behalf of the business. So again, if your address has changed, you may consider filing IRS Form 8822. You can also update your address by contacting the IRS. In a real notice, this would contain an actual phone number. And then in this case, you would check here if you've included your correspondence. This is the tearaway slip that you can send back to the IRS. You can indicate like when, what phone number you want them to call and the preferred times and of the day that you would like the IRS to call you. So again, if you don't provide any documentation, they're just going to either disallow all or part of your refund, or they're going to send you a notice of deficiency. You might receive a tax bill. So if the information you send supports your tax return, then the IRS will accept it as filed. They'll send you your refund, and you don't need to do anything else. But if the information you send does not support your tax return, then the IRS is going to continue going down their steps of disallowing either part or all of your refund and issuing the notice of deficiency. So if you had a tax return preparer help you with your tax return, you definitely should make an appointment to go over this notice with him or her just to see what kind of information would suffice. Here are links to additional resources such as the Taxpayer Advocate Service, low-income taxpayer clinics. We're going to select this link to see what else it says on the IRS website under CP05a. So you can respond to the IRS right here. It looks like you can just upload documents right here if you wanted to. That's using the IRS documentation upload tool. You can also fax your documentation. So here it clarifies that your documentation must include the date you earned wages, gross income, and taxes withheld. And then it clarifies further what acceptable documentation may look like. 3 bank pay statements or check stubs to include the end of the year check stub. It specifically says do not send a copy of your Form W-2. That's probably why the IRS has a disagreement. A lot of times W-2 might be different from what your end of the year check statement or check stub might look like. A letter on company letterhead, a statement of benefits if you received retirement income, and then your response must include a copy of this notice. So there are a couple of FAQs on the examination and why your return is being reviewed. If you did not file a tax return, someone else might have filed it for you without your consent, so you should file IRS Form 14039, which is a stolen identity or identity theft affidavit. There's links to additional resources that you can look into about identity theft. So that's all we have for this notice. We'll put links in the show notes to the forms and schedules mentioned here. If you if you want to read more about this type of stuff, we'll include links to the articles. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's another topic you'd like to see discussed in an upcoming video, hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.